Hi guys, welcome in this MQL5 tutorial, and this is going to be a continuation of the last video where I showed you how to create an expert advisor template. And in this video I will just add some more functionalities so the template is even better. So let's get straight into it. The first thing I want to add is in this volume types. So right now in our template we can choose between two options when it comes down to the lot sizing. The first option is that we can use the static volume, which means that we set lot size right here, and then we use the lot size for all of the positions that we open. And the second option that we added is this dynamic value option, which calculates the lot size based on our capital. And I want to add one more option, and that is going to be a percentage based option. What I mean with it is that, for example, if you want to risk 2% on each trade, the expert advisor should be able to calculate the correct lot size based on your risk percentage. So let's do exactly that. So I will create a new option here called percentage volume, and yeah, then I have to find my my lot sizing function, which is right here, and I have to add some code in here. So this if statement deals with the static volume, this else if statement deals with the dynamic volume. So what I will do is that I will create another else if statement for the percentage volume. Okay, so let's go to the calculations for this. Okay, so first variable, we'll need some variables or some values in order to be able to calculate this percentage based lot size, and the first value we need is the point value, which we can obtain like this. The next I will create a tick size variable in which I will store the tick size, symbol trait, tick size, and also tick value, which is okay, symbol trait, tick value. Okay, so this is what I need. Then I want to make my first calculation, and it is going to be double, let's call this variable something like value to risk, and let's calculate this like this. Okay, so volume value, so this is the volume value variable is going to store the percentage we want to risk on each position, and then we want to divide it by 100 and multiply it by our account balance, and this account variable is right here. So this is our capital that we have on our account. Okay, then we want to calculate a new variable called something like, for example, tick count, and this is going to be calculated like this. Okay, I forgot one thing, and that is that in order to be able to calculate a lot size based on our risk, then we of course need to know how many points are we risking, because if we have stop loss for 200 points, the lot size will be different from, for example, having like stop loss for 600 points. So that's why I will create a new parameter for this function called stop loss. Okay, and then I will use this stop loss parameter, and I will multiply it by point variable and then divide it by the tick size. So this should be working, and yeah, and we are nearly done. Now I will assign a new lot size value to yeah, okay, so we want to take our value to risk and then divide it by tick count multiplied by tick value, and that's that. And then the last thing I want to do is to normalize the lot size, and that's pretty simple. So lot size, and then we need to normalize it to the number of digits our broker uses, and you can do it like this. Okay, so this should be okay. Now we are receiving these two errors, but that's because we have added this new parameter, and because we are calling our function right here without passing the parameter. That's why we are receiving the errors. So let's change that, and here we just need to pass these stop loss points, and that's it. So now let's test if it works as it should be working. Okay, so let's find my YouTube folder, which is right here, and choose template 2. So this is our new template, and right here we should see our percentage volume, and let's say that we want to risk like 10% on each position, which is too much, but just for the sake of testing we can do it. And then let's do something like 500 points for take profit and 500 points for stop loss as well. So this way we can see the result in the case of winning or losing a position. Okay, that was too fast, so I'm gonna run it one more time. I'm going to stop it right here and slow it down so we can see it. So our initial balance is 1000. So with the first position we should either end up with 1100 USD or 900 USD. If that works, that means, yeah, you can see that our function really works. So if we wait, now we should be, yeah, and it works as it should. Okay, so this is great. This is great. And let's move on. The next function I will be adding to this template is going to be the trailing stop. Alright, now we have our break-even function, which is right here, and that's great. But if you are someone who, for example, likes to use a trailing stop, and I do like to use them, for example, then this function is going to be for you. Okay, so firstly let's go here into our inputs part of the code, and yeah, let's change something here. Okay, so we have our position management functions, which should be okay. I will leave it like this, and I'll just create new variable. So input bool, and let's say, so use trailing stop, so TS, let's set it to false. Now there are multiple ways of how you can create a trailing stop, but I really like one of the approaches, and this approach I will show you right now because it's like improved how do you call it? You use the break even and you improve it. So it's very similar to the break even, but it's even better. So let's code that as well. So the trailing stop trigger point. So this is going to be very similar to the break even, and trailing stop initial move, which is something like move points in this case, 25, and I will be adding one more variable called trailing stop move point. So let's set that to 5. Okay, now I will explain the logic. So it starts exactly the same as with the break even. So we wait until we are a certain amount of points in a profit. In this case it's 50. When we are 50 points in a profit, we move our stop loss 25 points into a profit, and that's like the break even part. But then if we move by this this amount of points, we move the stop loss as well. So in this case, if we are 50 points, we move the take profit to 25 points into a profit, and then if the market moves next 5 points into our favor, so now we are 55 points into a profit, then we move the stop loss 5 points as well. So that's like how you can maximize how you can maximize your profits and still be safe. So let's code this function. Okay, it's going to be very similar to the break even function. So what I will do is that I will take this, paste it here, and just change something. So we want to call it TS, which stands for trailing stop function, and the first thing we want to do is to check if we want to use this function. If not, we will return and we won't execute the rest of this code. Okay, so I can leave this as it is, and I will just have to add one more thing. So right now we are saying in these parts of the code that if we are certain amount of points into a profit, then we want to move the stop loss into a profit as well, and that's okay. But now we want to add a part which deals with the function that which deals with the positions that we have already moved into a profit, and we want to move them even further. So this is what these parts of code will be for. So our exception is going to be if position stop loss is above the position open price, therefore we have moved the stop loss for this position already, and this is going to be a crucial thing. And okay, so now how to do this? We want to, yeah, sorry, just think. Since we are using the trailing stop values, we have to change these values as well. So in this case, it's trailing stop initial move, and trailing stop trigger points. Okay, so this is great. And now let's deal with this piece of code. So if current price position current minus the position stop loss. Okay, so now we are receiving our distance divided by point. So now we deal in the whole numbers, which is great, is larger than, okay, so now how to do this? Okay, it's larger than, now let's make another set of these brackets, and let's say the as trigger points minus the as initial move plus the as move points. Okay, let's try this now. Sorry, let's try. Okay, what's happening? I can't copy this, or what? Okay, I can. Great. Let's try this exception and hopefully it will work, but I'm not sure. Then we want to move not the position open, but position stop loss plus move points. Okay, so this should be working. Let's do the same thing right here, but we will change just a few things. So we want the position stop loss to be already below the position open price. Here I will change this, so position stop loss minus position current price by point, and this should be okay, I think. Okay, we have some errors here, so let's check which errors. Okay, we are unbalanced parentheses right here. Okay, so where do we have our unbalanced parentheses? If I do this, I'm just trying something in here. Okay, we still have our unbalanced parentheses. If I, for example, I don't know, delete this, we are still receiving our parentheses. So I will just I have to find in which function the issue is. So if I go out this function, it still remains, yeah, sure, like this. Then we don't have any errors. So it's in this function. Okay, now we know where the issue is. So I'm just going to delete these here, and let's find the error. Okay, so if we go from here, if this looks okay, we are closing the parentheses right here, then we are first parenthesis, this is okay as well, I would say. And yeah, let's check this. So else if this looks okay, this looks okay as well. So where is the issue? Okay, after that we are okay. I think I found it. I have to add one more parenthesis right here. Yeah, great. So now we are all set, and let's copy this piece of code. So it's position stop loss minus, and the same, the rest remains the same. Okay, so now we should have our trailing stop function ready to use, and let's see if it works. So trailing stop function. Now let's go back to my MT5 platform and let's try it out. So let's set this to 1000 just for the testing purposes. Break even false, trailing stop we want to set it to true, and our condition is going to be that once we reach profit of 200, we want initially to move the stop loss 50 points into profit, and then when we make a profit of another 10 points, we want to move by those 10 points. So let's see how this works. I'm going to slow it down. So this was too fast to catch, so let's slow this down even more. But from this you can see that we have moved the stop loss, because our take profit was for 1000. We moved that by 85 points, which seems, or 80 points, I'm not sure, but let's say 80 points, which seems pretty good, because if we are moving initially 50 points and then we increase by 10 points, the 80 points seems really nice. And now we are not opening a position. Infinite volume. Okay, I made some mistake somewhere. Let's set this to static, just so we can test out our trailing stop. Okay, so this was once again too fast for us, so let's wait for another position, and we are opening right here, and let's slow this down and let's see what happens. So our 100 points is right here, so we should be waiting for this to break, and then we should move the okay, let's wait. Okay, it doesn't want to break that level. Or did we set this to 200? Or yeah, we set it to 200. So now we are almost there. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay, this is not entertaining, but okay. And now you can see that we have reached our 200 points, and we are moving our stop loss. So now it's for 70 points, and you will see that it will move to 80 points if we go higher, and if not, we will cash those 70 points. And let's see. So it doesn't go higher, it went higher, so now we cashed for 170 points. or 80 points, which is great, which is really great. Okay, so that's our trailing stop function, which works as well. I want to add one more thing, and that's the time filter. So a lot of trading strategies work much better when you find the optimum time span that the strategy works on, and then you disable it in different time span. So for example, you want only to open positions from 6 a.m. till something like 4 p.m. and outside these hours you don't want to open positions. And yeah, these types of filter can really enhance your trading. So let's add a simple function that is going to do this time filtering for you. Okay, so let's go back here and let's create a new group. So input group, time filter settings, and let's go. So input integer, starting hour, let's set that to 10, input integer minute, starting minute, for example 20, and then ending hour, let's say 18, and ending minute, let's say 40. Okay, so by these settings we say that we want to open positions starting at 10 a.m. and 20 minutes, and we want to open positions till it's 18 and 40 minutes. Okay, and I will also add a boolean which simply says use time filter. So we can also select that we don't want to restrict our positions by the time filter. And okay, so now we have to think about this, because this is not something that we can implement anywhere in our code. Because if we, for example, create a function which checks if we are outside the time range, and if we are outside the time range, then it won't run the rest of the code. So if we had a function like this and we, for example, executed it right here and we were outside the hours, so these functions below it wouldn't execute, then, for example, our trailing stop wouldn't be working for the positions that are already opened. So we have to think about this when we are implementing this function. So what I will do is that I will create this function of the type boolean. So boolean, it will return true or false. Let's say time filter function, and yeah, it will, let's create another boolean, can trade, let's set that to false, and then we will return the can trade variable. So yeah, and then I will take this function and I will put it right here, and time filter function, same thing right here, time filter function. Okay, so right here we will when we will receive a signal, so for example a signal for opening a buy position, we will also check the time filter function, and if our function returns false, and if we check our function then false means that we cannot trade, then we won't execute upon this signal. So that's how I will implement this function into our code. And now let's create the conditions. So first thing we want to check is whether we even want to use the time filter function. So if use time filter is equal to false, then we want to set the trade or can trade variable as true. In other case you want to set it as false. And now we want to check the hours and the minutes. Okay, so I will create MQL date time variable called something like time, just like this, and then I will use the time current with the time variable as a parameter, and I will compile this. By doing this I can access all of these time information from this variable now. So I can access the day, I can access day of week, day of year, I can access the hour, the minute, the month, the second and the year. So with this information I can check whether we are within the trading range or we are not. And that's exactly what I will be doing now. Okay, so bool, let's call it inside time span, and let's check it. So if time dot hour is larger or equal to now how we call it, starting hour. Okay, so now we check our hour, and yeah, I'll just give me a second, I have to think about one of the conditions here, how to do it. So there will be multiple conditions, so let's change it. So I will leave the boolean, so is inside. Okay, no, that's not what we need. We need to have a multiple if-else statements. So if, now let's check the first condition. So if time.hour is equal to starting hour and time.minute is larger or equal to starting minute, then we want to set can trade to true. So this is our first option. So if we are in the current hour, or the hour that we want to start opening our positions at, then you have to check the minute that we are in. So that's our first condition. Else if time.hour is larger than starting hour, so we are past the starting hour, in this case we don't have to check the minute, but we have to check if at the same time we are below the ending hour. So in this case can trade is also true. And the last else if condition is if time.hour is the same as ending hour, then we have to check also the time minute is higher or equal than ending minute. Okay, then count rate is equal to false because we are outside the time range. And the last condition is if time dot hour is larger than ending hour, then we don't have to check the minute and we can assign false to the count rate function or count rate variable, and then we return the count rate variable. And yeah, I think this should be okay time filtering function. So let's check it. Yeah, and one more thing, right here I forgot something. I will do an if else statement instead of this, because yeah, we had an error right here, then return true, because with the previous code we would assign initial value to the count rate function in case we didn't want to use the time filter function, but then we would execute the rest of the code, which would lead to changing the variable value, and that's not something that we wanted. Okay, so this is it. Yeah, we can check if this works by one very simple thing. So let's say (0 to 20, 0). Now I don't want to use the visual mode because there's one very nice feature of the backtesting report, and that's this, because in the backtesting report you can check your trading hours, and as you can see it opens positions only in these hours, which is exactly what we wanted, but not exactly. There's one thing that I did. No, that's okay. Okay, so this works as we wanted. It doesn't open positions at 8 p.m. because we said that the ending hour is 8 p.m. but the ending minute is 0. So if I change this to 40, for example, then you will see that in the backtesting result you will see that there are some positions opened at 20 as well. So let's change this and you can see it. Okay, maybe it just does not want to open any positions there. It should. Okay, it does not. So 1 second. Okay, that's weird because our condition is correct, because here we are checking the ending hour. So let's pretend that it's 20 so that is 8 p.m. and 15 minutes, so 15 past 8, and we are checking, so we are in the ending hour, and right, let's set the initial value to true, and let's see if that solves the issue. No, doesn't solve the issue, so false. And I will add one more condition, so ending hour and time dot minute is below ending hour. Sorry, ending minute. Then can rate is equal to true. Okay, so let's check this. Does it work? Does it work? And it does work. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, so this is going to be all for this video. I've added 3 new functions which I think can improve the template, or at least it gives you more possibilities of how you can use your expert advisors. And from now on I will be using this template for creating expert advisors. So the big upside is that it's going to save me a lot of time, and I will be able to focus more on the expert advisor side and on finding the best entries possible. Okay, so this is it. Thank you for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video.